The Dolphins are looking for a general manager. They've published the list of the folks that they are seeking to interview. Mike McDaniel's status, I think, is still unresolved. Barry Jackson, the Miami Herald, reported last night that none of the candidates have been told that McDaniel is definitely coming back. And there's a way the dominoes fall where there's a candidate the Dolphins love, and that candidate says, I don't want Mike McDaniel to be the coach. And if they love that candidate enough, they're willing to move on from Mike McDaniel. I think that that's a possibility. So for now, McDaniel's there. And for now, they have a clear quarterback issue. Tua Tagovailoa says he's open to playing elsewhere in 2026. It would be an upset at this point if they don't release him. I don't think they're going to be able to trade him without paying a lot of money. They owe him $54 million fully guaranteed in 2026, Devin, and they would have a $99 million cap charge they'd have to take between 26 and 27. They can engineer some of that. They can take it all at once. They can split it over 2 years. But I think once they benched him, that was that for Tua. I don't think you come back from this if you're Tua or the Dolphins. I don't think that we have some epiphany in the offseason that Tua is going to be the week 1 starter. I think it's done.
Yeah, and I think whether Mike McDaniel stays or a new coach comes in, I don't think anybody walks into next season saying this is the guy that I want. So I think Mike McDaniel inherited Tua. I think he had great success with Tua when you look at numbers for a season. So I think he's moved on past that. And I think with that, then we know the end is there. I don't think there's another coach that walks into that and says, hey, Tua's our guy. I think now the thing is for Miami is how much did you like Ewers? How much did you like when he was out there? Or is this a total reset where we're now, looking for how do we trade for Mac Jones? Or, are we looking to bring in Jameis Winston? How do we trade for him? So I think that's the next thing that they have to figure out. The interesting thing is how long does it take to find your next general manager to then decide if Mike McDaniel is going to be the head coach, to then decide, all right, who the quarterback, free agency, draft. It seems like they have a lot to figure out. And like you said, they got rid of Chris Greer during the season. So it seems that they would have had an advantage, and they've already kind of probably narrowed down this process. So now it's a matter of, hey, when do they make the decision? And then how do they then move forward, and how fast do they do that?
It's another reason why I'm not a fan of half measures, Devin. You put yourself in a weird spot. You hire a new GM. The new GM says, I'd like to fire the coach. Okay, when are we firing the coach? January 30th? We're going to start a coaching search then? What do we talk? What are we doing here? And I think that becomes part of the complication of doing things the way that the Dolphins decided to do it in firing Chris Greer and keeping Mike McDaniel. There still is a chance they'll be moving on from McDaniel. Once the coaching carousel stops, the quarterback carousel starts. Once you have the coach in place, you know what you're going to do at quarterback. I think they'd like to give Quinn Ewers a shot to compete to be the starter, because having Ewers on a 7th-round slotted rookie contract balances out the cap dollars that are going to be attributed and paid to Tua Tagovailoa. So, if you're going to be in that mode for the next 2 years where we're in cap purgatory because of Tua's contract, we have the cheapest starting quarterback in the NFL, a guy who can't get a new contract until 2028 at the earliest. Let's do that. Let's take advantage of that possibility, and maybe you find more help in the mid to late rounds of the draft this year because you don't have in the budget the ability to commit more cash and cap dollars to a quarterback. That's almost what they have to do, at least for now. And I think I saw enough from Ewers to at least give the kid a chance to compete. Let's give him a shot. It doesn't mean you give him the week 1 job, but you got the full offseason program, training camp, preseason to see what he can do. He kind of got thrust into things without getting the full opportunity to prepare. You give him the full opportunity to prepare and grow into the job and own the job, that could work. And, if you bring in a new coach, it's kind of harder to pull off the Quinn Ewers thing because the new coach may not believe in Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, no, very true, very true. And again, he played well Sunday against New England for a period of time, so it makes a lot of sense. And maybe you go see if you can get one of those veteran backups come in there, compete, and possibly have to take over at some point during the season.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.